Morning, folks. Welcome to another new day, beginning of another week. I hope you had a good weekend and you had a blessed day yesterday on the Sabbath day. This morning we return to our studies in the fifth commandment. Honour your father and your mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord your God is giving to you. This morning I want us to think about the scope of this commandment. Very often when we read this commandment, we think that it really only relates to children's attitudes towards and their behaviour with respect to their parents. That, however, would be to have a very narrow view of what this commandment is requiring of us. In fact, all of the commandments are much broader than they initially seem. The larger catechism in question 124 asks the following: what are meant by father and mother in the fifth commandment? And the answer that is given is, by father and mother in the fifth commandment are meant not only natural parents, but all superiors in age and gifts, and especially such as by God's ordinance are over us in place of authority, whether in family, church, or commonwealth. In other words, what the Catechism is saying is that the honour and respect that is required of children in relation to parents in the home is a principle. And that principle is that we are to give respect and honour and obedience to any who are in authority over us. Certainly that includes children, and that is the first point of application. Children growing up in their home are to honour and respect their parents. They are to recognise that in the home structure, the parents have authority over them, and as such have the right to command and the right to have respect shown. However, that goes further. It also means that in the church, for example, we are to give respect and honour to those who are over us in the Lord, those who are fathers in Christ. In our case, in Reformed Presbyterian setup, that involves the elders. Church members are to respect and honour, and insofar as the instructions are biblical, are to obey their elders. It also applies to those who are young in respect of those who are older. People are to respect their elders. They are not to dishonour them. It is a sad thing in society today that many children have no respect for their elders. But this commandment is not something that is merely confined to the child-parent relationship, but also for young people and older people in general. It's interesting that in various cultures in the world, older people are highly respected by those who are younger. For example, in places like the Middle East, and especially in places like China and also in Japan. In the Bible, the word father is used to speak of different relationships. It's used to speak, for example, of a king in relation to his subjects. It's also used to speak of people who are older and more experienced than someone who is younger. So the commandment is wider in its scope and in its application than merely in the context of the home. We are to show respect and honour to all who are in authority over us, and to those who are older and more experienced than us in various spheres of life. That includes our government, and of course there are other places in the scriptures that call us to obey the powers that be, because the powers that be are ordained of God. And even though governments at times are corrupt, nevertheless we as Christians are still to respect them and obey them insofar as the law does not require us to do anything that is sinful or contrary to the mind of God. So honour your father and your mother. Honour those who are in authority over you. Show honour and respect to those who are older than you. And in doing so, we keep the principle of the fifth commandment. May God bless you today.